Hello.
You're welcome to the Two Johnnies podcast, the Hurling Special.
I'm Johnny B.
And I'm Johnny Smacks. Today's special is brought to you by Allianz, who have been a proud title partner of the Allianz Leagues for over 30 years. And this year they announced the extension of the League's title partnership for another 5 years. You can find out more information on Allianz.ie.
Now, lads, on today's podcast, between us all at this table, we've got 7 All-Stars, 2 All-Irelands, 1 hurler of the year, several broken fingers, but most of it is down the other end of the table. We have Tipperary's Shane McGrath, Waterford's John Mullane, and Wexford's Larry O'Gorman. Welcome, lads. How are you all?
Great form.
I was just wearing your top. This is the Wexford 96.
This is it, brother. Still fits me.
When you win, did you get a suit?
We did get a suit.
Do you still have it?
I sold it the next day. I did. I had to pay the tax on the car.
Are you joking?
No.
You wouldn't know.
You never paid the tax on the car.
Speaking of suits, getting a suit for an All-Ireland, you got a special present before, did you?
Oh, geez, we did actually, yeah. And our sponsor was Infor at the time. And I could only be described as something like maybe the Fonz from Happy Days would wear. We got these leather jackets made, like tailor-made leather jackets. They were worth serious money, but they had Infor on them 2010. I don't know, some of them ended up over in America and everything.
Shift them out.
Well, what do you do? Like, it's 2010, there's not many lads wearing leather jackets. Like. So
They not look good now.
I became principal to school. I was thinking about cutting out maybe the elbows, putting on tweed elbows. And maybe I could get away with it around the school, but
I think I seen him in San Francisco, actually, in the Blue Oyster Bar.
Yeah, could it be?
Like Liverpool 96 now.
Yeah, the white suits.
The Spice Boys.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever get in, John? Did you ever get any suits around?
Jesus, we were lucky to get the one suit for the All-Ireland final.
Yeah.
Jesus, we were lucky to even put it on that night, you know, after the hammer we caught by Kilkenny. Barely going to come out of the room, never mind go down and start into a dinner and
walking around in your suit.
Drink a pint and that. Jesus, but suit. That suit is well gone, I'll tell you.
Really, yeah? Didn't hang around?
Oh, Jesus, no.
Lads, delighted to have you all here. Since you started and finished, a lot of changes in the GAA. Larry, you made a breakthrough 87.
87, yeah.
So what was pre-season like in 87?
Train 2 nights a week and drink 5 nights a week. I thought it was a bit crazy, when you look at what they're doing today, even say around in 96 when Liam Griffin came in, completely different. But when I started off, you train, you get a bag of chips and a fish on the way home, and then you stop for 2 or 3 pints.
After training?
After training.
Regularly?
Every night.
Jeez, I wish I was playing back then. Sounds perfect.
Absolutely
perfect.
But it changes as time went on, of course. Naturally, the GAA became more professional or whatever the whole lot. But in the build up to it, I just thought, whoa, this is great. Is senior hurling like this going to be like this all the time? But after a number of years, it completely changed. Dietitians, sports psychologists, everything came in. And
Who made the big change? Was it a specific manager or just over time?
I think it was just over time, and we were learning from other counties. When other counties were progressing nicely, when you see Kilkenny winning with a very professional approach.
Even back then?
Even they were very professional, they still had their nights out and their breakaways or whatever the whole lot was. We were a little bit more or less of a clumsy team, you could say. We weren't really successful, so we didn't know what it was like to win and enjoy ourselves. So we just kept on the old traditional, train hard, have a few pints, eat a few bags of chips and stuff like that, and hopefully it changed. But as I said, over time it definitely changed because the professional side of it came in. The older statements, the older guys that were playing at the time were all moved on, and the young generation came in and they were playing college hurling and stuff like that. Story was very professional, and a few other lads were, so the whole output was.
What year was that, Larry? Would have been after when Griffin came in then, was it? When
a little bit before Griffin, we got to the league finals.
93,
that was the kick-off for us. Went to 3 games. We played Cork in the league, 3 league finals in Thurles.
What year was that?
93.
93.
And went to 3 replays.
The league
3 replays. Savage hurling, I must say now. I was marking Teddy McCarthy twice, and he was a horse of a man. I know that he might have passed away since, whatever, but I had great admiration for him because he was a great hurler and footballer, but he was a horse of a man. Now we had Jimmy Houlihan and a few other big lads like that, but Teddy was one that I was a little bit worried. I was shaking my boots actually when I went out to mark him. Yes. But I got through the game and I done quite well on him, and I actually got man of the match in one of the games. And,
Yes, you done all right, so.
and after the game, he actually wouldn't shake my hand.
Why?
He wouldn't shake my hand. I don't know.
You done that well.
But we were back to what they call it, down to his hotel after. Both teams were invited for a bit of food, a few drinks, and stuff like that. I think it was what was it? There was non-alcohol beer. There was a sponsor. What was the name of that crowd?
That wasn't going great at the time.
1993 in Ireland. They said they're gone now.
I think it was Buckler or something, wasn't it? Buckler, was that the name? They were sponsored of it, yeah. But anyway, we went back and I was in the toilet when Justin McCarthy or Jordan McCarthy was over him, and he said, "Well done, Larry, boy, a good game today." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Poor old Teddy wasn't happy with me." He said, "Why, what happened?" He said, "He wouldn't shake my hand." He says, "Larry, I wouldn't shake your hand if you hurled the shit out of me either," he said. But they went on to win the third game. We had a chance in the second game. When John O'Connor had a free about 40 yards out. I had a friend of mine, Willie Robinson, or Mercer, he's dead now, but he had £1,000 on Wexford to win.
Stop.
And he was behind the goal, and we got a free. Story got pulled down 40 yards out. John O'Connor was brought the whole into the field in front of the goal, and I looked up and I could see Willie and he had a big hat on me jumping up and down. Has to be it. Last book of the game. Sir John hit it. I looked at it. Yes, I ran back, but the wind caught it and it went wide. I looked up and Willie was down on the ground. He never spoke to John O'Connor for years afterwards.
Would you blame him? Think of it, £1,000 back then in '93. I mean, that's the equivalent of probably.
Unbelievable. He was always like that. He was a guy that was he's a great character, a great warrior. He loved Wexford. He actually, even after the All-Ireland final, he came over to hug me. And when he hugged me, I said, "Willie, what happened to your hands?" He took a hole in the ground in Crow Park and he brought us out home, but there was muck all over his hands and he was hugging me. And I had muck on my face. And when my sister, she had to use her sleeve to wipe the muck off my face.
What game was that?
The All-Ireland final.
Did you win it? He went out and dug up a piece of grass.
He had a knife and he dug it up. He dug up the sand, he brought it home and he called his back garden Crow Park when he put it into the garden.
A knife. My young lad couldn't bring a flag into it. Jesus Christ, you can bring.
But the boys were telling me when he went back on the trail later on that night, he had 2 jerseys because he was always sweating really well. He always sweated after the match. So he said, "The boys, we surely have a sandwich, lads." He opened up the sandwich and it was full of worms from the sods. He had no problem. He was drunk and he ate him. And he still ate him. Great character.
Christ.
Mullane's going to have
But he could have been Kilkenny in that '93 Leinster final.
Yeah, we were all lucky as well.
Yeah.
They got a draw. They got a draw of us.
Was it Eamon Morrissey? Was it?
Eamon Morrissey got a ball.
Yeah.
Charlie Carter got a ball on one wing and he switched across to the far side and Eamon Morrissey's boot came off. So he couldn't run anymore and he stopped it and he hit it for about 40 yards out. A draw. I went to replay, then to beat us in a replay.
We were knocking on the door.
We were knocking on the door, and to be quite honest, it wasn't just the way we were there. League finals 91, 92, 1991. We played in that great sand dune, the Sahara Desert in Crow Park. There was more sand in Crow Park that day. It was unbelievable. Every time the ball bounced, there was a cloud of sand come up in the air. So I was going back in and look for me shovel and spade. I tell you, nothing else to do. So you couldn't pick the ball up. But anyway, we lost that. But as it went on, then Liam Griffith came in '94, especially after Clare being successful.
Yeah.
He said, "Lads, there's going to be changes brought in here." Very professional, and all of a sudden it's just.
But I think that Clare team caught everyone's eye. It was like, geez, lads, they're doing savage training, and I hear they're running up and down mountains and all this kind of stuff like that.
But even I think Clare beat Cork in '93 in the aftermath of that league. I think Clare beat
in the first round.
I think Clare beat Cork after Cork won that 3-game saga with G. I think Clare got to the Munster. I think Tip beat them well in the.
They were making progress slowly but surely when you look back at it.
No, they lost 93. They got hammered in '93, but would you believe I was actually at that final? And it was in the Gaelic grounds, and then they got beaten by '94. Limerick beat them well, and then I think Loughnane then took over from I think it was Len Gaynor.
Yeah. Well, Shane, what was the biggest change you saw, say, from what you broke onto the Tip team in?
So I went in 05, like training. Ken Hogan would have been manager, and in 06 proper, like Babs Keaton was the manager. So Babs took over maybe October 05, and Babs was there for a couple of years. And to be honest, now the crack was fairly good now as well. And
no bags of chips.
We weren't having fish and chips, but we stopped off for jelly snakes on the way home a good few times. But when it was so new to me, like I remember even playing the much final in 06, and I was marking Jerry O'Connor, who hurler of the year at the time, like, and I was just getting water going, Jerry, do you want to drink water? I was in awe, like, I really was.
What age were you?
I would have been maybe 21 at the time, like, and I was in awe of Jerry O'Connor because he was so small, and but the way he played and skill, and I would have admired him. And maybe it's the same for every intercounty player, that when you come on and you're looking at these guys that you've so much respect for, like, and would have learned a lot now even playing those games, 06 and 07. But when Sheedy took over in 07, again, kind of you're going back training in October back then, like, really, and like the whole game changed for us. Like, we didn't know what training was until he came in with Keane, with Keane O'Neill. Keane's with Kerry now. Keane would have been a football guy, but he would have been working in Newell at the time, so he brought us in, and like, we were doing running that we'd never done before. We were seeing lads puking in parts of Dr. Morris Park that we never knew existed, and there was an ambulance called one day, and it was training that we never knew we could do. Like the gym, we didn't know. I genuinely didn't know what to do in the gym. Like, I know that sounds ridiculous now, like, but because lads are 14 or 15. Yeah. Like, until they came in and they showed us, like, this is what you need to do. It never really got very, very big, like, but we just needed it for contact.
So when you were playing with Tipperary in 2006, there was no gym plan?
There was a plan. But it wasn't mandatory.
Oh, yeah. Right. It was on you.
It was on you, like. And to be fair, like, they were trying to implement it, but like that's not a million years ago. Like, but I'm sure you'll agree. 06. I mean, like, the gym wasn't a massive part of it. Like, it's for everyone.
We were kind of ahead of the. I'd say we were a couple of years ahead.
You were, say, you had a serious.
Jerry Fitzpatrick came in to us in 03, 04, and Jerry was so far ahead of his time. Like, Jerry would have been involved. Basketball would have been his scene, so he would have been over in the States back in the early mid-90s, you know, studying the Chicago Bulls and all those teams. So I even believe that, from what I gather, Jerry would have been involved with Waterford back in 97, and he was preaching about the gym as far back as 97 that, you know, it was all about the neutron diets, and it was all kind of more focused on you know, getting naturally one team being fitter than the other team. Everyone was going the clear route of trying to be fit, but Jerry's route was, you know, let's go gym. And he was preaching it as far back as 97. And I think he was preaching back in 97 that you need to be doing the gym all year round. Yeah. You know, back then it would have been
not just for 3 weeks before championship.
Although, you know, do it in November or December and then stop.
Yeah.
And then they were kind of saying to Jerry, I don't know who the manager at the time was, saying, like, are you mad? Like, doing gym all year round. This was 97. Yeah. And in 2003, I remember even myself in 2002, I was only a bit of a thing. Jerry came in then, and it was kind of like gym, and it was all year round. And I actually remember being on an all-star tour, and I think it was Peter Barry and a couple of the Kilkenny boys coming on saying, like, you know, I was gone from that, and I was kind of gone, you know, beefing up. This was 2003, 2004. I remember a couple of Kilkenny lads quizzing me, like, you know, what type of training are you doing, like, to go from, you know, being skinny to that, and it was Jerry Fitz. You know, probably.
Did you tell the Kilkenny lads?
Well, yeah, kind of to a certain extent. But like, we were probably, Cork's game back then was all based on speed. We were kind of you know, off the cuff hurlers, and then we got a bit of the strength through Jerry, and then, you know, Justin was a fantastic hurling coach, and then it was kind of like 2006, 2007. You could see then that the Kilkenny boys were starting to cop on, saying, well, Jesus, you know what,
we better get going here.
We've got to focus on the gym. And then all of a sudden, like, we played them in the league final in 2007, and we beat them in 2007, and we more or less poked the bear. But in the space of 12 months, then these lads just became monsters, like, you know what I mean, regards physical raw strength. And
we did too, like, as in regards, I suppose we had good hurlers, we had a good group, but we probably, realistically, when you look back at it, we probably weren't fit enough physically or strength wise to compete with the top teams. So we played 06 Munster final against Cork. You know, they weren't up to par, they were coming towards the end, but really we weren't fit enough to keep it going. But like, as I said, when Keane O'Neill came in and Sheedy got involved, and we were training, that we good run in the league then in 08, like, and we ended up winning the league in 08.
This year, Allianz announced the extension of their Allianz Leagues title partnership for another 5 years.
how important is the league? Because for a lot of intercounty players, that's probably their first real introduction into like big time hurling.
Yeah.
Like, can you remember making your league debuts? Because you're
made
probably
my,
going up marking some lad that you watched on telly.
I come on again Clare
Yeah.
in 87, 88. Just come on for 15, 20 minutes. But as a young lad coming on, you're coming up again giants of hurlers.
Yeah.
You're just glad to get a run. To go back and say, yes, I was brought on or something like that. But John was talking about Waterford in 2000 and was it 3 or 4 when you started doing it?
Well, I started in 2001, but with Jerry kind of came on the
But when Clare won the All Ireland in '95, there was a meeting called a week after by Liam Griffin
Down in Wexford.
in Ferry Carrick Hotel.
Yeah.
And he had a chart board, and he started September, October, November, all the training days, 24 days, 28 days. Training 3 days a week in the gym, 3 days out running. Liam Hennessy, I don't know if
28 days a month.
Remember Liam
He was
Hennessy?
assistant to the-
Yeah, and Jim Keelty was another guy. They were all involved with us. But we were starting to do weights then.
Yeah.
We were light chunk of weights. We done fitness tests into the gym, running. And then your man come back 2 months later to see how well our fitness tests or sit-ups or press-ups were coming on. So they were recording everything that was going on. But Griffin had all this, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4.
To win the All Ireland.
To win the All Ireland. And at the end of it, at the end of the chart, he says, I'm finished after we win the All Ireland. That was his last.
His last
page.
lip chart was just fish and chips.
Wait, so he knew at the start of the season that
That was his plan. But we all looked at one another. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Into the gym. We had a guy, Sean Collier, who was doing the physical end of it. And you're in the gym. I could tell you so many stories of what happened in that small gym.
Go on.
The room was only double the size of this, and all the walls were pebble dashed. You know the way the pebble dashed. And we were doing pull-ups, and George done 30 pull-ups. Myself, George, and John were in the same group. George done 28. I done 30. John had done 15. George wasn't happy. He went up again. And he had to try and beat my 30. I said, go on, George, you'll never beat it. But George was so mad, the veins were coming out in his neck. And I counted even the ones that he wasn't getting there just to make sure that he won.
Yeah.
And he beat it, and he hit the wall 2 punches. And he had blood coming out of his knuckles. That's what it takes. That's what it takes. And with Tom Dempsey, George is after losing. And we went into the other room where it was a boxing ring. And Sean Collier was a boxer at the time, boxer. And he was in there, and then we had to go and take him on. You get 30 seconds or a minute in the gym with him in the boxing ring.
You must have got to the hurling at some stage.
That went on for about 2 or 3 months before we got to put a hurl in our hands.
That's barbaric.
And we went in, and I'll never forget, Tom Dempsey, Owlert and Buffers Alley didn't really get on well with each other club terms. And Tom was in the ring. Tom was in there. Tom started doing the alley shuffle, taking on Collier, boom, boom. He liked this showing off. He went in, Collier turned around to laugh. When he turned around, Dempsey hit him. Back on the ropes. Collier went after him, knocked Dempsey out. Hit Dempsey with an uppercut. Dempsey was knocked out on the floor. I threw the towel in over Tom's head. He was gone.
It's pre-season training.
He knocked him out. He didn't mean to knock him out. He went in with the ribs and his hand came up on his.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
He said he didn't mind getting knocked out. He said, but only said when I woke up, he said I seen Liam Dunn, Story, and these boys, and they're looking down and laughing at me. But it was bad, but it was well organised. Training was brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, back into the field and start doing this running with Liam Hennessy or Jim Keelty. So it was very professional.
And you played on late. You were playing junior until what age?
I retired in 2004. I tell you this one now. 2004, John Connor and Martin Quigley and these lads and Jim Keelty came in. I said, look lads, we'll have to get these yokes on your back, you know, to see how your training is going and progress or whatever. He says,
GPS
Larry,
and all, yeah.
You have to do so many runs per week or so many mileage per week. And after about a month into it, he said, Larry, you're 50% off it. And I said, these young lads are only 20, 21 years of age. How am I able to do what they're doing? Like, Jim, come on, I'm 34 or 36 years of age. I won't be able to do it. More or less said, if you can't do it, Larry,
You're gone.
you're gone. That's what they were more or less saying.
Hurled intercounty till 36, Larry.
Yeah.
Some going.
But it was funny though. It was funny.
When you think about how TJ is doing now.
Yeah.
Because, like, say, that was you then, and
Yeah.
what TJ is trying to do.
TJ Reid.
but even back then, like, I mean,
But I'm saying, like, say, with the sports science side of it for him, for TJ to get himself
That's
right,
incredible.
and for you, like, you just obviously trained.
I just had I was there. It was March or April, and I said, February or March. I said, "This is it. My body can't do it. I can't do what they're doing, but I can do exactly what I want if I got 20 minutes in a game or something like that."
There's lads playing club can't walk at 36.
Yeah.
But anyway,
but hold on now a minute. You came on against us up in Nolan Park.
Yeah, 2003.
6 months just before that.
yes, 2007, Larry bumped the two Larrys.
The two Larrys
on
you
their
know,
own. Yeah, I remember that.
You know, so
The two Larrys.
Larry Murphy, Larry O.
That's another podcast.
Jim Larry took that on the road.
Anyway,
But did the management say to you basically?
more or less, Jim Keeley, well, he would, or whoever was doing the stats and
Yeah.
whatever needs to be done, I could do everything, but I couldn't run as long or as far as
But
these
you
other
felt
lads.
you had 20 minutes in you anyway.
I did, personally, I did. But it was showing up then. We played a couple of league games. It was getting lower. He said, Larry, you still have to get your numbers up. So what did I do? Down to my local hurling pitch. Benny, my little dog. Come over here, Benny.
Stop.
With the yoke on him. And I was hitting the hurling ball up and down the field. About 50 or 60 times. I said, that mileage now should be up. I handed it back to Jim Keelty the following Tuesday night.
The GPS.
I said, Jim, here's my GPS. He'll take it off. He rang me the next day. He says, Larry, you're a fucking Superman. He said, I can't believe what you've done. I said, Jim, I took a week off work and I ran my arse. He said, good man, Larry, boy, you're back in. I said, Jim, to be honest, I have to tell you the truth. My poor dog can't walk at home. I have more out. I knew it was coming to an end. We played UCD then in Mullane or St. Pass Ballyoctor. No run there. We played Tipperary. It wasn't in Thurles, it was in somewhere else. We played Tipperary. John Conrad asked me to warm up the team. I said, that's enough then. I know where I'm going. I'm not on the bus, I'm going in the booth.
But can I ask you, they won the Leinster Championship that
They did.
year then,
Remember that?
what way did you kind of feel like,
Sick.
Yeah. Well, no, genuinely.
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
I mean,
It
that's
was only a couple of months before
Yeah.
that. Remember Mick Jacobs scored that winning goal again. Kilkenny. Ryan Cody, I never seen. He fell to his knees. Peter Barry got the ball soloed out. He should have ran to the corner flag. He took three or no, he got blocked.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Mick Jacobs just turned and hit it back and it game over.
And were you
I was delighted,
were you
but I
in the
was
stands?
disappointed. I was doing commentary on the game.
Jeez.
I nearly fell off the stand. I was going to go down and choke the selectors for dropping me.
But time,
I don't like that.
time, and even when we won the Munster Championship for the first time in 39 years, Sean Culnan, Stephen Frampton, and Brendan Landers, you know, they give them,
Boys who soldiered for so long.
for so long, and they were up with us till March, possibly April.
Yeah, it's hard.
And you know, we getting over the line then, and you no, those lads were still genuinely delighted for the team, and even Sean the Rock came back on the bus with us. But you know, lads that probably have to give nearly a lifetime to Waterford hurling, and then just the timing of it then to miss out. And the likes of myself then feeling guilty, you're only coming on the scene, and here you are now winning a medal straight away, like, you know.
But when you retired, you said it was more mental than physical.
It was, yeah.
You're just sick of it.
Well, I two kids, two kids, and the eldest one was I was 31 going on 32, and I remember coming home one morning. We were training down in Dungarvan. We were having a really, really tough session now. And you know the way your recovery, it takes you longer to recover in regards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Compared to the other lads, they could train and they could go out two nights later. But I never forget, we'd a day planned to go to the beach out at Tramore, and I never forget it, coming home from Dungarvan after a heavy training session. I started lying on the couch and nearly falling asleep. I was wrecked from the train. And I remember the little one, Abby, she was pulling me, come on, daddy, we're going to the beach. And I was like, yeah, give me another half an hour. And it was conked out, and trying to, because I think it was an early morning session, about 8 o'clock in the morning. And I remember ourselves at home just saying, John, it's family time now. We're going to the beach. We have it planned. You know what I mean? I've been gone the whole morning, and I just said to me, oh my now, you know what I mean? I'll just, but even at that, I kind of knew within myself, that pressure that was kind of putting me on myself as well to kind of go out and perform, and but before when I was in a team with the likes of Kane and all them, like, you know what I mean, and when you're coming on, you're going on about young lads coming in, you're more freer, like, you know what I mean, and you're saying, right, if I don't play well today, we're probably still going to win the match. But I felt, coming to the latter end of my career, I was putting pressure on myself to, I have to go out and perform, I couldn't switch off from it. Genuinely couldn't switch off. The days that I was off, I was thinking, right, oh Jesus, I've got to go in. You're
thinking hurling all the time.
No, I've got to go in training, get through training. That's the way I was. I wasn't going in enjoying training. So right, I have to go in now and get this out of the way and try and get myself up to that level where I can go and compete.
And is part of that because, like, you were such a fan favourite? You became a cult hero in Waterford. Everyone loved John Mullane.
Yeah, but I suppose then as well, you kind of know it in yourself as well. Like, my game was based on speed. So I'd get the ball and I'd be gone.
Yeah.
And, you know, that shadow behind you could be that. So when the shadow starts closing and closing and closing, and now you're getting to a ball, and as a fell up your back, and you're kind of going, oh, right. This wasn't the case probably 2 years ago or a year ago. And I kind of knew in myself, right, I've seen so many other lads then saying, well, you know, you probably wanted to go out on your terms. I said, right, I'm going to go out on my terms, and I'm not going to have a new young kid coming in corner back and saying, right, I'm gonna retire him, like, you know what I mean? And that's, you can see that, and as Shane said, that's what makes what Patrick Horgan and TJ are doing is just remarkable. It's just off the charts. I mean, the two of these lads are 37 years of age. I mean, I'm going back to thinking when 2018 I was 37 years of age, and these lads are going out playing inter-county hurling at the highest level,
taking frees.
It's just
responsibility.
You know, it's just off the charts what they're
when it
achieving,
actually gets inside you. With hurling, you're very passionate. It gets inside you. It has to come to an end somewhere. It's coming to an end at some stage. But when it happens to you, you're right on. It gets inside your head. You don't know what to have. You don't know where your nights are going to go. I know you have your own free time. You're going to miss the banter. You're going to miss all the crack. The journeys to training, the journeys to matches, or whatever. And we played that match up in St. Pat's Ballyoctor, I think it was. And the boys called me into the dressing room and said, look at Larry. I asked them first. We played a game. I got no run. 38 lads got a run. I was the only one that didn't get a run.
Oh, jeez.
And I went over and said, look, lads, please tell me what's happening here. I said, look at Larry, we think you should make a decision yourself. We don't think, you know, you're going to be any benefit going forward to us. I knew it, but I was hoping that I was able to
win them around.
Win them around or whatever.
But at least they respected you enough, Larry.
Yeah, just to have it in
to let you make that call, like, you know.
But I actually left that grounds with Barry Goff, who was a great handballer, and we were going down the road. I never spoke to him from St. Pat's to Oilgate. He was going out with a girl on Oilgate. He said, what's wrong with your brother? I said, you're very upset, what's wrong? I said, Barry, that's it. I said, what do you mean that's it? I'm finished. He said, I knew there was something wrong. But he more or less caught me by the arm and he says, you owe Wexford hurling fucking nothing, Larry. What you done for hurling, blah, blah, blah. He made me feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
But when he got out of the car, I got emotional about it.
Yeah.
And I drove there to Ferry Carrick. I swear to God, I thought my mother had died on me. I went from there to Ferry Carrick and I pulled in to Ferry Carrick because Liam Griffin was there. At about 11 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, I had to ring someone. I rang Liam. I was on the phone to him for half an hour. But he made me feel great taking off in the car. Story rang me and Dempsey rang me. They made me feel great going back down the road, but I still had to go home to bed. I was living on my own in an apartment. I said, where am I going? What's going to happen? I get up the next day.
It's your whole world.
It's your whole world.
To me, it was my whole world because everyone knew.
But you see, it's no different. It's no different. You see with some of the professional soccer players, that void when they retire, they don't know what they're doing. So like that was a big part of your life, or nearly the best part of 16, 17 years.
87 to 2004.
And GAA players are no different. Are no different. Like, and some GAA players struggle because they don't know what to do with themselves.
You're out 4 or 5 nights a week.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, so it's you know.
And did you stay playing with the club?
I did up to 36 now.
Oh, sorry, you were telling us off air. Your last game was Junior B, was it?
Well, I came out of retirement for that one. So the old famous one, we were playing. You know, after COVID, everyone was playing after COVID, and I remember the Bull and Steve Bennett, come on, will you come up and play a bit of Junior B? And I said, oh, look, that doesn't interest me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm after doing my innings, so they were saying, look, will you come up? So went up, Annie, and we're playing the Mullerans, Carrick big, like, you know.
Tough crowd.
Well, good hurling town.
Tough town.
But tough town as well. So, and I'd have a great rapport with an awful lot of lads up in Carrick big, but we're playing the Mullerans, and came on at half time, and the lad, he was about 23, 24 years of age, like an all-Ireland. He was pulling like wild now. And I was just saying to me own, and I said, right, I said, don't get into a fight, don't go pulling back, just see out the half now and get home safe and sound and watch cars. So the final whistle went, Danny, and I'm like, oh, Jesus, John, that was great. Shaking hand. And I said to him, I said, you'll be glad to know, I said, you'll be the last man ever to shake my hand. So the lad said to me, we're playing Clonee Power next week, another kind of tough enough crowd. I said, lads, good luck, that's it, that's me done,
In enough done.
But I experienced Junior B, experienced Senior. So
You've seen it all.
Went full cycle.
I'm playing Junior A.
You play Junior A now?
Yeah, in the goals, like the quarterback. Seeing everything. The goals is a grand place to play, actually, when you play it out the field.
Kelly actually,
Kelly's actually
Kelly's still senior in goal, is he?
Oh, he is but like I don't mind it. I like it, and like I'm by far now the oldest. Like I'm 41 this year. The next lad down could be 30 years of age, and like all my friends have finished and everything. But I still feel good. So I'll still play. I think all the
play as long as you feel.
Father always says play as long as you can, because it's like, and I see that even as coaching. The closest thing to playing, I suppose, coaching and managing, as you would have seen there from the Junior B's.
I actually started in goal.
Yeah.
Under 14. And I ended up finishing in goal at Junior B at 52.
I've 11 years to go.
But
I'd say if my wife's listening to this, she will say, please, Jesus Christ.
But genuinely, lads, there's some mornings I could wake up now and I'd be all caught up there and be caught there and down here. Like you've seen the impact of some of the hits that we took. Could you imagine some of the players in today's game, what way they're going to be when they hit our mid-50s, and like what some of the hits that they're taking.
Supporting communities across Ireland for over 100 years, Allianz has been proud title sponsor of the Allianz Leagues for over 3 decades, making them one of the longest supporters of sport in Ireland. See Allianz.ie for more.
But the big difference is probably, like, you're looking back 15, 20 years ago, like, lads are probably 69, 75 kg in around that, like 80 kg. Now these lads are tanks.
Oh, they're unreal. Like I was at UL this year in the Fitzgibbon. So you get up close and personal with a lot of inter-county lads. And it's so eye-opener now. Just to chatting to them, say, what would you be doing in the gym? All right? And they'd say, sure, we'd go in and we'll do our warm-up. And I said, what would you warm up with now? The bench press. We said, probably warm up maybe 80, 90 kg. And I went, oh, Jesus Christ. So they said, why? I said, like, in my life, I've never lifted 90 kgs at the height of it, right? When you're going well. And I said, what would you get up to? He said, well, you get your 1 rep max or 3 rep max, I think is what they do. Yeah. He said, probably about 140. But then they're squatting their body weight and a half at minimum, I'd say. Yeah. And like, say, as you're saying then, so you take, say, and sports science wise, they've never been able to run faster or run properly, because they're being trained how to run now. Like it was coming in when we were there, A marches, sprints, things like that. So they're covering the ground faster, they're stronger, and you're talking about the hits going in. Like the hits that are going in now from these lads who are benching that, squatting that, and moving faster. Yeah, and I just think I'd say it's phenomenal. I'd say it's car crash stuff. Yeah.
But you even look when we played the match for cancer.
Yeah, Hurling for cancer.
And even Jackie Tyrrell and Michael Fenley, who would have been,
they were giants, man.
They were giants, man. And then you're coming in then, back then saying, right, Michael Fenley, Jackie, they're as big as you come, like, you know what I mean, strength-wise. And then you see the likes of the Will O'Donoghues and some of the Limerick lads coming in, you're kind of going, holy fuck, look at these fellas. Jesus Christ. How much is going to kind of gone on again? Like,
you were there. I sat in between the two Morrisseys, Dan Morrissey and Tom Morrissey.
Yeah.
It was like a slice of ham between 2 puddings. Oh my God. I said, lads, I have to get out of there. I'm sorry. And the Kilkenny lads were laughing at me. Just sizing the legs on him.
It's only when you got on the field, tugged up beside him.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
We were lucky to get it playing, and like TJ was coming through, and I was like, I'll hop off him for the crack, like. Sure, fucking throw water into a barrel of sawdust.
Mick Finley hit me a shoulder in an All-Ireland, maybe 2011. I turned and I didn't see him, but Mick Finley was the monster. There was no monsters. Yeah. Like, but this, like, I don't think we realise how much of a good hurler he was as well. Like, he was some hurler, like his size maybe 37-inch hurley. But I turned and he hit me shoulder, and I nearly ended up in the upper tier of the Cusack stand. He lifted me straight off my feet. Do you remember Owen got hit shoulder by Ollie Baker before? This was something similar now. It was just whoa, wang, bang. Yes. Came down and went, I don't know what to do with the balls. I just throw it away. I think Eddie Brennan got a point. But Mick Finley, right? And I told this story before. because we were playing him the whole time, I used to, be always marking for the throw-ins. So the throw-ins was absolute chaos. So then for a finish, if you're looking down in Crow Park, All-Ireland final, like, yeah, some buzz looking down. And look down at McFinley's hurley, and the worst hurley I've ever seen in my life. No, cow shit on it, hoops, terrible. Like, he just wanted to say, I'm going to break this hurley, and I don't care. And I was there with my 2 lovely green grips put on perfect.
Brand new.
Lovely black tape, my hoops, my boss sanded, and they're going, jeez, I hate to break this hurley. And I looked down at McFinley's hurley and went, he's going pulling. So I said, right, I have to pull, right? So he would pull hard as he could. So would I, you know what I mean? Usually 9 times out of 10 lads, you know what throw-ins, the ball just goes through anyway.
Yeah.
Next thing, this lad from where Johnnies, right, maybe 20, 30 yards away on the sideline, he sprints into McFinley, gives him his good hurley, he takes the shit hurley off him, and McFinley hurls away the match to him with his good hurley. But I just thought, this lad got onto Crow Park just to carry McFinley's good hurley. Bring it into him, and he hurls away. And that's the things that stick in your mind. I always remember that. And I've said it to McFinley since I've met him, and he goes, yeah, that was my throw-in hurley. And I just thought,
but geez, one, like, if you're matching in time, imagine Mick Finley on Will O'Donoghue.
Oh, that would be
the ultimate now.
I had to go up an inch in my hurl.
Warlord versus Warlord, like,
because Finley's, he was 6'4", 6'5", 37 touchdown. I had to try and get something on him to get a flick. Like, so I went up from a 34, 35 for, like, because we knew we'd be playing Kilkenny.
Jesus.
In the bigger games.
Yeah.
And I know that doesn't sound much to people who might know it, but to go up an inch in a hurl, it's a lot.
Big change.
Yeah. But like all Kilkenny boys,
genuinely now, lads, who would win it? Kilkenny in their peak, Limerick in their peak. Do
you know, it'd be fair horrible out around the middle. Because like that Kilkenny team of like leaving the ball in and real good pacey inside forwards. I wonder how this fit.
Would you love to see Tommy Welch climbing up Garrod Hegarty's back?
He'd be like Rocky, and the big Russian.
I tell you what, if he get up on his back or up on his shoulders, he'd be coming down with a seagull.
I just think it's a hard one to call. We've often had this conversation on the radio, myself and John, like going at their peak. I remember what Tommy Welch said to us after they won, maybe was it the COVID final or one of them, and Tommy Welch said they're like us, like I think they're going, they maybe only did one, maybe 2 All-Irelands that stage, and he said I think they're gonna be serious, like, and because I suppose he could see in them what they had, Kilkenny had. So who'd win it? I'd say to be, if you could get an AI battle, class.
When you think about that Kilkenny team, you just think about goals. That's the first thing that comes into my mind. Like, is like Eddie Brennan, all those goals.
Yeah,
like,
Cork are doing that today.
That's what Cork are like now.
Goals.
Yeah.
Their forwards are.
Kilkenny, even we played Kilkenny. We always believe. We believed that we thought we could beat them, or we should beat them. They always believed they could beat us anytime.
We
were only hoping to beat them.
Yeah.
They knew they had us. We just have to have a perfect performance on the day to catch them. So the day DJ ran through, he took 12 steps and kicked the ball into the net.
Would you have been ones for trash talking?
No, I just think the game was, it's just too fast. Maybe it's different football and stuff, it's just too fast. Any of the games we played, there genuinely was none of it. There would be, a club level of it.
Yeah.
There's a lad to be trying to make a hero of himself, but like, I have been sent off a couple of times for club, but never for county. I don't think there was time, John. I don't know how.
Corner back, corner forward.
Out on midfield now, yeah.
Damien Joyce of Galway now, he was the worst. Joyce of Galway.
Yeah.
You've Ollie Cannon in one corner, and Ollie Cannon for me was the best best pound for pound corner back. That would have married me, like, I mean. But you would be nearly better off on Cannon rather than Joyce.
Why?
2004 league final, Joyce totally got inside my head. In regards, and I learned my lesson to say never puck the ball. Joyce saying, well, John, how's it going? He come in, and how's the family at home, and what you call it, and and before the ball I come in, next thing he'd be on it, and Jesus, how did I get that, and how are they all at home? And I was kind of watching. Now, Paddy Stapleton was Paddy Stapleton was another. Oh Jesus, Paddy Christ, Paddy had come in right, and Paddy had hit you down on top of the head, and he'd come back in and he'd say, Jesus, John, sorry about that, And the ball had come in again, he'd hit you again on the head. Oh jeez, I don't know what happened there. Sorry about that again. And it could be about 10 minutes later. And I'm kind of like, are you for fucking real? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ. But that was his kind of psychological way of getting into the head.
Shit.
But I remember 2006, we were playing in the All-Ireland quarter final, and I was we had a boot sponsorship deal with Puma. And the Puma rep says to me, he says, he's getting a few bob for it, he says, these white boots, I think your man Samuel Eto'o was after wearing them in the World Cup over in Germany at the time. And he said, would you wear them, John? I said, would I wear them? I said, you pay me. I said, I'll fucking wear them, no bother. I said, so we're going in playing tip Annie, and they were brand new white shiny boots, and Paul Armand has a look at the boots and he says, Jesus, John, where did you get the boots out? He said, he's taking the piss, and you couldn't get me a pair of them boots, could you? And he says, no, it's first ball he won, second ball, and he says, you couldn't get me what are those boots called? He says to me, I said, they're called the Rockets. I says to him, I know, he was back to him. So we started having a bit of banter on back. So next thing, he won a ball, I got the next ball, sped off down the line, put the ball over the bar, and he came out. Now I know why you call him the Rockets, he said.
Brilliant.
Would you have heard the fans?
Oh, geez.
Yeah, some games, Crow Park is different. Crow Park plays different
it's
because
like a hollow sound.
it's just reverbing around. You wouldn't hear it, but some days now down the Gaelic grounds, like, or in Semple Stadium, you go take a sideline or stuff like that.
When you're in corner forward now, and some of it now, you're kind of like, oh Jesus, that's not. I have enough of that shite now. You know what I mean? So it's not pretty, like, you know. Now look, it's understandable. If it's a 4 o'clock showing, the lads are fucking on the beers and fucking
it's 9 o'clock that morning.
9 o'clock in the morning. But some of the stuff that was, you know, on Munster final, or it could be a full house, and some of the stuff that's directed your way, it's not nice.
Too far.
You know, I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
We in '96, just before the All-Ireland final, Puma came to me and Liam Dunn, and they sponsored. They gave us boots. They gave us the whole gear. They said, if you wear them in a practice match or a training session or in Crow Park, if you can, they'll give us £500 or something. I says, yeah, no problem. We were training in Power Park in St. Peter's College. We put them on. We said we may go out, Liam. The lads were out on the field. We ran out. Said, no, he had red ones. Liam had blue ones. We ran out. 5 minutes later, Griffin, the boys, called us all in. Players have said, well, what's going on here with the lads with the coloured boots? So they came in and said, what's the story with the boots? So Liam told him, Puma asked us, the new launch of the Puma boot. Lads, no, get them off you.
No way.
Yeah. And we played in that charity match up in with the cancer this year.
Yeah.
That's the first time I wore them since '96. I still have them in a bag.
Did they give you the £500?
No.
Jesus Christ.
Unbelievable.
Oh, Gary.
I just like to take this opportunity to say that I really like what BMW do with the cars. And if they ever wanted someone,
you're open for business
in the North Tip area.
But it has to come on so far. Like, they're like, back when we were watching, you got two free pairs of boots, and you got an allowance for two hurleys, 3 hurleys. Yeah. And to be fair to the car curlers, I'll be straight with you got to give them great credit, lads. I mean, players wouldn't have what they have today only for what the car curlers. They took a stand back in 2003, 2000. Was it 2002? Sorry,
for better conditions.
And your other county boards then had to follow on and try and match it to a certain degree, like, you know.
It's the least that players deserve, like, isn't it? In fairness, for the time and the effort that they give. Looking ahead at this year and kind of looking back on the league. Obviously, the league final is coming up. Both league finals. Are Limerick and Clare bothered with the league? Are Tip back? Are Cork definitely Cork are favourites for the All-Ireland now?
For the league.
Cork I've seen Cork a few times now just from in the league, and I just think that their panel is unreal. The strength and depth they have. If you named out their best forwards now, it's frightening for the rest of us. Like, they've scored 10 goals the last 2 matches. They've created 15 goal chances, and like, that's just from being there at the matches and you'll be taking notes for the radio. And they could have, like, if they explode and they have everyone, they're unreal. Our Tip back, I think Tip are in a good place. I think the younger lads have come up to
everyone in Tip's afraid to say anything.
We're afraid to say
absolutely.
Because, like, I genuinely know, I with my heart, I really hope to give a performance down at Park Cleave. I genuinely would be afraid of what could happen with the crowd that's going to be there first of all, right? Yeah. It's down there, and just the form they're in, albeit they might be without 1 or 2 guys like Brian Hayes, but I just think it could be scary what could happen. And then where are you at then going into our first round of the championship against Limerick. Now, Tip will be prepared. Limerick are going off to Portugal there at the moment for their training camp, so they'll be absolutely buzzing coming back from that. And like, I don't know.
Playing Cork in Cork.
Yeah, it's just you're playing
there's
Cork
some momentum
in Cork,
crowd,
the
aren't they,
momentum, the buzz that's there. Look what they were getting for the round games. Like they were getting 25,000
2 terraces
people.
open, like.
Yeah.
Like I believe it's going to be full house.
It is
sold out.
Like, you know what I
Really
mean?
sold
Like
out.
for a league final.
I just want to take this opportunity to say we don't have any tickets.
Yeah,
so
please
people
stop
can
messaging.
You know, normally for championship, like when it gets
Yeah,
if you're lucky enough to get an All-Ireland final, you'll be getting loads of texts off lads you haven't heard from in years. But
Yeah.
any tickets going. I'm getting texts for a league final.
I think
I know.
Tipperary are the only team that actually beat Cork this year, wasn't it, in the league? So
Yeah.
they'll have a little bit of confidence going into it. But as Shane said, if they get a bit of a hiding down there,
Yeah.
you know, it could set them back a small bit going into the championship.
Awfully Waterford as well, John.
You had a choice.
Well, you're talking about tickets. I mean, it's an absolute joke that, you know, I mean, this fixture was originally supposed to be in Crow Park, and then it was thrown in as, you know, the curtain raiser to Tip and Cork. I mean, before you even were able to go and look online, the tickets were all gone. And I think
It's unfair to them.
I think it's very unfair.
Yeah.
We've an awful lot of genuine supporters, staunch supporters that would go the length, breadth of the country. Would have been up in Antrim, would have been up in Westmeath, would have been up in Carlow. They can't get tickets. And I know you can say, look, it's a 1B final. It's a National League final.
Yeah.
There's a cup
Yeah.
up to be won, and we don't win too many national titles. And even from the likes of in regards young fellas wanting to go to the match, you know, Desi Hutchin is the captain. If we were to beat Offaly next week, he's going up to collect the cup, and some of the children are getting to witness a Waterford man going up and picking up a bit of silverware, and they're being deprived of that, and I think it's wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
So it should
I
be
agree
its own
with you.
fixture.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I firmly believe that it should be in Nolan Park Saturday week, and
You would have had 20, 30,000 that, I'd say.
I don't think so. I don't think so, Johnny.
It's awfully your mad to travel as well in the last year.
I would imagine if it was 5 o'clock next Saturday, you're probably looking at 10 or 12,000, because an awful lot of the Kilkenny people will go into it as well. And Tip and Cork would have still sold out, like, you know.
Yeah,
So
100%.
they're losing out in every way, like, you know.
Waterford going to do it?
I think, would you believe now, I think they need this match because it's hard to gauge the last day. Offaly going down to 14 men. Now, even the day against Dublin, they went down to Dublin went down to 14 men, and Waterford took over. So I would like to see Waterford next week come up against an Offaly team that are going to throw everything at them, and it's going to be 15 on 15, and I think we'll get a good gauge of where Waterford are at then, and they'll know an awful lot more going into 3 weeks later when Clare come to town. So I think Peter Queally will be delighted that they're in a league final and they're getting another game, and it'll be another good test for them, you know.
Yeah.
Any predictions, Larry?
I think Waterford will win it. I think Cork will beat Tipperary by 5 or 6 points, but if it's over that, I think it might be a bang on the head for Tipperary for the start of the championship at least. So a good performance, which they have been hurling very well. But we can see where Cork are after going into 4th or 5th gear all of a sudden over the last number of games, where Tipperary have to get their act together really, you know, and put up a good performance.
People are afraid that like Tip are just mad fit and are kind of peaking. This is what.
Yeah, they've trained fierce hard. You know, you can see that in them. But like, I suppose, like, to be honest, would I rather the better performance to be in the league final or against Limerick in the first round? I'd rather the better performance to be in Limerick in the first round of the championship, because that's where it's at. Like, you know, it is the most championship. Like, it's brilliant to get a league final, and a lot of the Tip lads don't have medals as Tip senior hurlers. Like, you know what I mean. So they'll be going for it no more so than the Cork lads will. But like, I just think Cork they're serious outfit. And if I had to choose between two, which match would I rather win? I'd probably still rather win the first round against Limerick, to be honest.
I think Cork are going to take some stopping this year.
Yeah.
I honestly, I think if ever a team are primed to win an All-Ireland, and I don't think it's a case of, you know, will they? I think it's just a case now of when they're going to win an All-Ireland, because they've so many good players.
And lads on the bench. A lot of good hurlers that come in there and makes a savage difference. I said to you earlier on, Wexford beat Clare. We went on to beat Limerick. But we're beating with our championship teams now. That's most of our championship. Liam Ryan hopefully will be back, and maybe Conor MacDonald.
Yeah.
But that's it. But we're playing against teams like Clare, that we're down 8 or 9 players. Limerick, we're down 8 or 9 of the top players. So, you know, we got a boost out of it. Yes, we finished the league well on a high confidence. We still got relegated, and we have to wait for a month now for the to take on Davy and the boys, as they say.
To get
Bring
going.
on Antrim. So it's another challenge for us. Puts a bit of kick back into the team, and it gives the whole county a little bit of inspiration to say, we're not as bad as we were when you look at the start of the league.
A couple of quick ones before we go. You mentioned Davy. You had a famous altercation with Davy, John.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, we talked about trash talk and we're talking about Davy. Rude not to ask you. How are relations? All good?
I remember that, John. You rang me the next day and told me this story. And you were crying on the phone to me.
He wasn't crying.
He was. Well, if it wasn't him, it was the baby in his arms that was crying.
How are relations? Look, Jesus, I suppose. Okay. Yeah, look, back in the day, I suppose we kind of fell out, but yeah, I suppose. Look,
Is that all part of it? No?
is it all part of?
Senior in county hurling, like all the slagging and.
Yeah. I mean, things happen, in moments in games and in the aftermath of matches, and words can be said, and yeah. Look, now I wouldn't have acted against Davy. Did I like the way he left Waterford, and then went up to Antrim? No. I mean, is it a good fit for both Antrim and Davy? Only time will tell. But yeah, I didn't like the way he was said he was going to be taking time out, and 2 months later.
Yeah, he did the same with
he finds himself up in Antrim. But no, look, in regards, I played some of my best stuff under Davy.
Yeah.
And he's a bounce manager. He'll come in, he'll get a bounce of it. Seen it with Wexford, seen it with
Momentum.
Waterford, seen it with Clare. Only time will tell in the championship whether he'll be able to do it with Antrim, but does he have the material to work with? It's going to be a difficult Leinster championship. You look at the teams, Offaly, Wexford, Dublin, Galway. I mean, it's hard to see where Antrim are going to pick up results.
I also have to ask you, do people still shout "I love me county" at you?
Oh, Jesus, stop! I'll tell you, if I know now, what I mean. Larry, I was working down in Wexford. Could be going in and 20 years on, and could go into the schools and young lads 6-7 years of age, and be going, I loves me county, boy, and they throw in the boy, I loves me county, and these lads weren't even kids weren't even born, but yeah, Jesus, it's
You could be remembered for worse, John.
that's it.
Like,
look, it's nice, and I look at the time is, was it Tony O'Donoghue? Yeah, so it was. It's just remarkable how even
it sticks.
how he was able to catch me in such an emotional state and come over and then the supporters then and a couple of one or two lads. Murray Doyle, he kind of made Murray to be in my club, like, you know what I mean, and some of the fans, like, real characters, like, you're on about those lads.
They love us.
They're clattering in.
Be out for the day. Would you believe it's actually his 50th coming up now in a couple of weeks? But I think we're getting to train up to Kilkenny, so that should be eventful, all right.
Cycle up to there.
But it is. You can hear the lads in the background shouting, "We love you, John Mullane."
Yeah,
This makes it like
some look, yourself. Some of the supporters.
Fanatics.
They make the summer and they make the GAA what it is. I mean, these people probably have a couple of them in Tipperary and likewise in Wexford. Supporters are
It was like your man in the wheelchair in 91 and he nearly passing out. Was it Aidan Ryan after he got the goal?
how you figure.
He got 91, Like, that was my first ever time going to a tip match. That was one of the greatest matches of all time. 91 Munster final against Cork at Thursday. Aidan Ryan gets the goal or something. So next thing you're looking back at the match and then a lad in the wheelchair coming out at 90 miles an hour out past the
celebrating.
and just loving
but
it.
you'd actually miss the pitch invasions too. Like,
No, John.
Why?
Not with Willie around, I tell you that. I know, it was hectic. Especially in 96, because people were beating the head off you. George O'Connor was lucky because he was up in the air and they were only bending the arse off of him. And they were bending the head off of me. He said, please stop.
But I remember,
You don't mean it, you love it, you enjoy it or whatever. It's just, I need to get a break because they're pounding your head.
you see that clip where Fox scores the goal. And then he runs out to celebrate, and there's the supporter. He jumps up in the air, the supporter comes in underneath. He knocks him straight down and just stays going.
Your man Willie, the fella I was telling you about, great character, love Wexford. And I used to sell cars, and he bought a gold yellowy gold Suzuki Vitara Jeep off of me. And he painted it with a bit of purple on it.
Yeah.
Be a fanatic, absolutely fanatic. But he said, Larry, Greyhound won in Waterford. He said, Larry, we're going to Shelbourne Park. The dogs have to qualify for a final. I said, Willie, I'll go with you. You have your drinks, I'll drive. And we brought 2 other lads with us, Eamon and his other good friend. Up to Shelbourne Park. He had a white jacket on him. We were looking out through the viewing area, looking down, having a bite to eat, and Willie was delighted with the dog. Willie's Toby was the name of the dog.
Right.
And he had the dog, and he walked around delighted with himself. So anyway, the race went off. The dog won. He was delighted. He was running after the dog. He was running around to the ground, hugging the dog after the dog winning. We were all laughing at him. He come up, Larry, that's it. I'm fucking getting drunk. That's it, I'm getting drunk. You don't touch any drink, I'm drinking. That's grand, no problem, Willie. We stayed there for about 3 hours. Heading back home, I said, Willie, come on, we go. 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11:15, we were heading down the road. I said, Willie, I may pull into Jack White's to have a piss. Oh, yeah, work away, Larry, work away. He said, have a look. He says, see, is the dog all right? I said, I will. I went to have a piss. I looked in the yoke. I went back in. Willie, your fucking dog is on in the trailer. He left the fucking dog in the kennels up in Shelbourne Park. I had to do a U-turn in the road and all the way back to fucking Dublin.
We were playing Railway Cup. We were playing Connacht. And it was I think it was the first Railway Cup under light final under lights. 2007.
Yeah.
We played.
I was Vigar.
Scully was. Remember we were delayed. Myself, Tony Brown, and I don't know who else it was, but it was an October fixture, and myself, Brown, and I don't know the other fellow, and we were stuck in traffic. Well, we thought we were stuck in traffic, and we were coming in the city centre. And I said to Brown, I said, we're not moving. Like what's going on? So I said, there was a row of cars in front of us. And I said to Brown, I said, like, we're going to have to ring Scully, like, I mean, and tell him we're delayed, like. So ringing Scully, and he said, look, we're delayed, Michael. You know, it's for the Railway Cup final. We're delayed, Michael. We're stuck in traffic. Half an hour went on. I went ahead, Annie, right? Looked at the cars. There was a row of parked cars in Dublin city centre. We only realised.
Who was driving?
I said, well, I think it was Brown or whatever. I said to Brown,
Tony Brown was driving.
I got out of the car. I was getting ready to go out of the car and said, well, yeah, well, come on, what's going on? And I looked at it or whatever. I said, what? I said, Brown, there's a row of parked cars. And we just about got in and the lads were togging out and watching. We ended up winning the match. And I was actually Scully actually made me captain the same day. Yeah.
We had a great night out afterwards.
Yeah.
And we're on the hotel the following morning, absolutely dying. Next thing, Sean Og, Halfine rise in after going for a run.
Yes.
Fresh as you like. And we were like, come on, man, take a day off.
Boys, the GAA is deadly, isn't it? Thanks a million for coming in, lads. That's it for the Two Johnnies podcast, the Hurling special with thanks to Allianz. Don't forget the Allianz League Hurling finals are on next weekend, Sunday the 6th of April. Best luck to all teams, especially
Tipperary.
Yeah, from me, Johnny Swax.
And from me, Johnny B.
We'll see you. Go on, good luck.
Lads, good luck, thanks.
Good luck.
Supporting communities across Ireland for over 100 years, Allianz has been proud title sponsor of the Allianz Leagues for over 3 decades, making them one of the longest supporters of sport in Ireland. See Allianz.ie for more.